Hi class. Today we're going to learn how to solve absolute value equations. Okay, so here we have a basic example where we have the absolute value of x plus 4 is equal to 10. Now, in order to solve this, we have to use the formal definition that I talked to you guys about. And so we're going to try to find what value will x be, so that way we have a positive x, a positive number. Because we know that the absolute value of a positive number is going to be a positive number. Now that's not the only number that will give us 10, a positive number, but also this could also represent a negative number in here, because we know that the absolute value of a negative number is also positive. And so when we set up these absolute value equations, we're going to write two equations. Okay, one equation is going to be where this expression is going to be the positive number. So we're going to have x plus 4 equals positive 10. So in here, we want to know what will x be so that we can have a positive 10 in here. The other one, the negative, so this could also be negative 10. So we're going to make this expression in here. Now notice this x is it represents the expression that's inside the absolute value. Okay? So inside the absolute value, we have x plus 4, so it can also be negative. Okay, so x plus 4, this expression here could also be negative 10. Now, we're not talking about the result here. The result of an absolute value is always positive. Let's be clear about that. But there are two numbers that can get us a positive 10. One, the absolute value of positive 10. The absolute value of a positive number will get us a positive number. That's this equation. The other possibility is the absolute value of negative 10. That will also get us a positive number, 10. So there's two equations we have to set up. We have to find those two possibilities. So it's the second one. This expression in here, remember we're talking about this, can also represent negative 10 because the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. So let's get to the work now, find out the answers. So solving this one, we get x equals 6. If we plug it in, we get 6 plus 4, which is 10, and the absolute value of 10 is 10. Notice we got a positive 10 in here. That's our positive option. Okay, now this equation here is going to get us our negative option inside the absolute value. So subtracting 4, we get x equals negative 14. So if we plug negative 14 in, we get negative 10. And the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. Now I hope that makes sense to you. You may need to rewatch this video and listen closely to what I'm telling you. Number 2. Now this is the basic absolute value equation where all you have on the left side is absolute value. But what happens if we have some additional operations? So let's see. I'm kind of trying to make it up here on the run. Let's do 15. There we go. Okay. So now before we can break this up into our two equations, we need to get the absolute value expression all by itself. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and start solving like normal. Remember, this is your grouping symbol. We undo adding and subtracting first. Okay. Then we undo multiplying and dividing. And now we're ready. Now remember, there's two options for getting a positive 6. Can you tell me what they are? Good. That's right. This could be positive 6. That's one equation. Or this expression in here could be negative 6. Don't get this confused with the answer here. Okay? We're looking at the two options inside this expression that will give us a positive 6 when you take the absolute value of it. And we're using this definition to help us write those equations. Okay, solving. All right, so let's find out if we're right. So let's plug 7 in. We could go back to the original one. Why not? Let's do that. 7 minus 1, 6. The absolute value of 6, 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. And that checks out. $15 equals 15. Okay, let's check this one out. So plugging into the original, and see if that gives us a positive 15. So remember, since we're solving, we do GEMDAS forwards. Absolute value of negative 6 is 6. And we get 15 equals 15, and that checks out. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you guys in class. Have a great day, night, etc.